Hi guys, it's Miss Dalis Reyes. Today we will be talking about solving for y. X minus 8y equals 40. To solve for y, first start by drawing a line down the middle of your equation. Then we're going to go ahead and put some shapes on our equation so that we can identify which one is the x term, which one is the y term, and which one is the constant. And again, it's really important to have that line down the middle. So our goal is to end up with y equals and everything else on the right side. So we are going to cancel the x term on the left side. If we cross the line, we're going to change the sign. So that positive x now becomes a negative x on the right side. Here it is. We're going to bring down what's left on the left side, which is negative 8y equals, you want to write your x term first, so the box, negative x, and then the constant is just going to come straight down. That's a positive 40, so plus 40. And then since we're trying to solve for just y, we want to divide off the coefficient. So we're dividing by negative 8. And when we do that, we need to balance it out by dividing by negative 8 across the entire right side. So let's simplify this. This is actually a negative 1. So negative 1 divided by negative 8 is positive 1/8 with the x. And 40 divided by negative 8 is negative 5. So this is our answer. Y equals 1/8 x minus 5. Okay, let's try it again. Line down the middle. Let's put shapes. X term gets a box. The y term gets an upside down triangle, and make sure you include the sign with it. If you don't see a number, that's because it's a 1. So this is negative 1y. Equal sign, and then 2 is a constant. So again, we are going to cancel out the x term, bring it to the right side, cross the line, change the sign. Now we're going to rewrite what we have. Negative 1y equals negative 5x, and then the 2 is going to drop down, positive 2. We're going to isolate the variable by dividing by negative 1 so that we can get just y equals. We're going to simplify. Negative 5 divided by negative 1 is 5 with the x. Positive 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2. So we're going to write it as a minus 2. And then our answer is y equals 5x minus 2. All right, next example. This time, I'm going to show it without the shapes. If you still need the shapes, go ahead and draw it. If you don't need to draw it. So I'm going to pass the x term to the right side. That's a positive 2x. It's going to change the sign to negative 2x. I'm going to rewrite what we have now. Left side is negative 3y equals, right side is negative 2x minus 12. Divide by the coefficient, so I'm dividing by negative 3. And now I have y equals, I'm simplifying, 2/3 x, and negative 12 divided by negative 3 is positive 4. So that's my final answer. Y equals 2/3 x plus 4. All right, next equation. That's a positive 6x. I'm going to go opposite, negative 6x. 18y equals, the x term will be first, negative 6x, and then the constant, plus 18. Divide by the coefficient, so I'm dividing by 18 all the way across. Y equals, and now I'm going to simplify. Use my calculator, -6 divided by 18, and I want to make sure that I get a fraction, so I need to convert it to a fraction. And the fraction conversion gives me 1/3 with my x, and 18 divided by 18 is +1. Okay, in this example, it's set up a little bit differently. If you take a look at the equation, you'll notice that on the right side of the equation, you have parentheses, and next to the y on the left side, you have a constant. Remember that anytime we have parentheses, we want to simplify that by distributing. So we're going to distribute the -2. So -2 times 1x is -2x. -2 times +5 is -10. Equal signs on the middle, and I'm just going to recopy what is on the left side. Now, I need to take this constant and I need to bring it to the right side. I'm going to cancel it out, cross the line, change the sign, so now it becomes +5. So, left side is just y equals, the right side, the -2x is just dropping down, and now I'm going to combine -10 plus 5, and that equals -5. So my answer is y equals -2x minus 5. Okay, let's try it again. Line down the middle, distribute. So when I distribute, I get 1/2 times x, which is 1/2 x. And 1/2 times +2 is +1. Recopy the left side. So this is all just brought down. And then now I'm going to cancel the constant. So I'm going to cancel it by adding 3 to the right side. And technically you're adding 3 to both sides, and that's how it cancels. So we cross the line, change the sign, we add 3. So now we have y equals 1/2 x plus 4. Okay, take a look at this example. Negative parentheses x minus 2. Remember, when you don't see a number, and normally you will see a number, but if you don't, it means it's 1. So in this case, it's -1. So we are going to distribute a -1 inside the parentheses. So -1 times x is -1x. -1 times -2 is +2. Copy the left side, y plus 5. And now I'm going to cancel the constant. So instead of +5, I'm going to cross the line, change the sign, -5 or -5. What do I have left? Y equals. Now here, -1x, I technically don't really need to have that 1. It's actually better not to have it. It's more algebraic to not write it. So I'm going to erase that 1 and just put -x. And then now I'm going to combine 2 minus 5, that's -3. So my final answer is y equals -x minus 3. Next example. Okay, so this one looks very different. You're going to want to solve for y for any type of equation. So, still draw your line on the equal sign. It'll really help you to identify where the left side is and where the right side is. Now, to be consistent, I'm going to show this where the y is on the left side, where we end up with y equals. And then I'll show it another way that's a little bit faster. So, first I'm going to draw my shapes. A 0 is a constant. On the right side I have a -10. There's my y, the plus y, and then I have a -6x. So, typically I want my y on my left side. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and cancel it. Instead of positive y, it's going to cross the line and it's going to change the sign to -y. My equal sign is always on the line. Now, the circle or the constant on the left side, the 0, I'm going to cancel it out. Cross the line, change the sign. Now technically, you could think of it as you're adding 0. It's not going to affect your constant on the right side, but I'll write it down just so you can see what happened to it. So now I want to write the x term first. So this negative 6x is just copied. It's just going right over here. And then negative 10 plus 0 is negative 10. Now, you're almost done, except for here you have a negative 1y, and you don't want that. You want just y. So you're going to divide by negative 1 all the way across. And then you'll end up with y equals, simplify everything, negative 6 divided by negative 1 is 6x, and negative 10 divided by negative 1 is positive 10. So my answer is y equals 6x plus 10. So now let me show you the same problem a different way, a faster way. Draw the line. If I notice that my y term is on the right side, I could technically keep it there. Watch what happens if I move both the constant and the x term to the right side. So I'm going to cross the line, change the sign, so that makes this plus 10. Cross the line, change the sign, that makes this plus 6x. Now let's look to see what I have. Here's my equal sign. I have my y on my right side. It's already by itself. On the left side, I'm going to drop down the 6x, and I'm going to drop down the plus 10. And then you'll notice it's the exact same thing. You could flip these two sides. It's the exact same thing as y equals 6x plus 10. And that's what we got in this problem. So the work looks a little bit different. Both ways work. It's really up to you to decide which one you like best. Okay. Next example. Draw the line. And like on this example, since I see that my y is on my right side and that's the only thing over there, I'm going to go ahead and just keep it over there. And I'm going to divide by negative 9. So that way my y stays there all by itself. And all I have to do is now balance the left side by dividing each term by negative 9 and simplify. Negative 3x divided by negative 9 is 1/3 with the x. And then don't forget, this is a negative 36 divided by negative 9. That's positive 4. And then if you want, you can rewrite it and flip these two around and say y equals 1/3 x plus 4. Last example. Oh gosh, this one has y on the right side also. Okay. Let me show this one, putting the y term on the left side, just in case some of you guys are doing it that way. So I'm going to put the y term on the left side, so that means, let's see, let me go ahead and put shapes on everything else too. So that means I'm going to cross the line, change the sign, that makes negative 2y is going to go over here. Now, this is a triangle. I don't want the circle over there, so I'm going to cross the line. I'm going to change the sign. I'm going to add 6. Now I'm going to rewrite everything. I have negative 2y on the left side. I have positive x on the right side, and I have plus 6. Last step, divide by negative 2. And I get y equals, this is actually 1x, so that's negative 1/2 x. Positive 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. So my answer is y equals negative 1/2 x minus 3. Thanks for watching. Bye.